so your baby is part of you, which I love this
Oh,
argument
I
because
heard this.
that one, he said something along the lines of
It seems
there's a
narcissistic.
spiritual connection. And
That's
he
what.
said that like even if huh?
I just said wow.
Yeah. Even if there is even if like the child didn't
Uh, uh, I guess we'll try this again. Try this. This person I've been following a little bit today. See how this goes. Hold on, let me. Hmm.
I really like the anecdotal stuff. Just because like it doesn't address really any positions because for every anecdote that one person can come up with, somebody else can probably come up with a different anecdote.
I know. She's
Or
had 3
the only
abortions as a teen. My friend has had 4 abortions, and guess what? They
I've
don't
had all of
regret any of
them.
them.
yeah, exactly. I also would say that if you were coerced into an abortion,
What's up, awesome one? Good to see you. We'll see if I get into this. I might not.
appreciate you coming up. I do have some opposition in the box, so I want to give them a chance to speak as well.
Is Siggy opposition by chance?
I think Siggy possibly. I don't know. I've heard them. They have some pretty garbage stances, honestly, on pro-life. I think they're pro-life. I'm just kidding. I shouldn't say that. Siggy just made me a background.
Siggy has a good stance on me though, because Siggy loves me. So
Hi. I think it was Shag. I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
couldn't see your whole username.
yeah. You can call me
Oh,
Tom.
cool. I'll be off the app for half a second. I'll let you talk to them too.
Oh, you're fine.
Mhm.
Yeah. No,
What's up?
I'm. I
The
guess.
argument.
Oh, can you hear me? Okay.
Yep,
Okay. Yeah.
we can hear you. She's just paused. I heard it pause. I'm sorry.
oh, your connection is bad. You have a delay.
My connection's bad.
Yeah.
Weird. I don't know why. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. Is this any better? Can you hear me now?
Come back up. Sometimes that fixes it. Huh?
You want me to drop and then come back?
Yeah, drop down, come back up. You have that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't. I. I
Okay.
don't. I don't even think he's hearing us say drop and come back. Until like 5 seconds
Weird.
later.
Okay.
And this background is gonna have the exact same issue. Because it's the all 9 months thing that gets people hooked on the thing. If you just put her choice,
Awkward.
you won't have that conversation.
Oh well, I don't know. Well, I would say like I can just explain this away by being like, oh,
Fact check false. Just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah. I'm just gonna try and relaunch my app. I don't know what's going on or why it's not working right. Shit. I gotta try and find it now. Oh, I think I follow that person. Oh no, someone got in.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm in my 50s, so I grew up uh, kind of when the abortions started becoming legal. Um, I never had one, but I had several girlfriends who had many abortions.
So weird.
And I know a lot of people who really regret their abortions. When I was a teen, and I wouldn't give them up for the world. Like, I don't know what you young girls.
That's something that people don't talk about is abortion regret. They're so keen on just wanting to get it done that they don't think like, oh, maybe there's consequences to my actions.
Like I said, my friend has had 4, and that meant that after having every single abortion, they got pregnant again. Like, and this isn't a thing. You're not going to be able to not get pregnant because you had an abortion.
Well, I knew a girl who the doctor told her because she had like 5 abortions, and he said, if you have another abortion, you won't be able to get pregnant again.
That just
Did that
seems like a
happen?
lie.
Like, did that actually happen though?
Well, and here's the thing. I do know. What's up, Dan in the dirt? I do know that they talk about, because like when you're like essentially scraping the uterine wall there, that there is risk that that you won't be able to get pregnant or be more difficult. So there is some truth to that.
Maybe the doctor saw scar tissue. Who knows? Back then things may not have been as sterile as they are right now. I mean,
Just seems like maybe your friend had like a pro-life doctor that would have like lied to them because maybe they just didn't want them to get an abortion because they were pro-life. Because I don't think that really happens. But regardless, is there like a better reason why you would be against abortion than like? Because I mean, when you get an abortion, you are given like the possible complications, the possible risks. And so people are made aware of these things, and I would believe that people have the facilities in order to consent to these things.
The facilities or the faculties? I'm trying to debate these people, Dan. It's not that you can't get pregnant. It's just that it's well known it can be potentially cause damage, especially depending on the procedure. Yeah. Yes. A very rare exception if you have scarring after a surgical abortion, a condition called Asherman syndrome. Yeah.
I believe that's a person.
Okay, I think that we have to make a distinction between life and a person, because I would also agree that it's alive. I wouldn't agree that it's a person.
Well, I guess that's where we disagree.
What is necessary for personhood?
Unique genetic
Just
code.
the fact that, a heartbeat starts at about 10 days old.
So
10
is that-
days.
It's not true.
Also, is it the heartbeat then, or is it the conception that matters?
I would say, I say conception, but a lot of people say heartbeat. So I would go with the heartbeat. I mean, because you really.
Okay, let's look this up. Is the pill worse than the procedure? I heard yes, but they might see it as the same. The heartbeat of a fetus starts at about week 5. It may be detected using vaginal ultrasound. The development starts at the end of the 4th week of gestation and has rapid, irregular contractions capable of pumping the blood into the vessels. The heart rate increased. Yeah, the week 5. That's crazy. Medical news today.
An eventual murder of a person?
Oh, the M word.
Well, yes, the way you say that, it sounds
Really?
horrific. I mean, you're taking organs out of a living person.
That's just organ harvesting. Like that happens all the time. Like with brain dead people, they sign up waiver to make themselves.
A brain dead person is essentially a dead person. So that's an exception, because the person, when you're brain dead, you're not coming back from it.
Heartbeat thing. It's not actually a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
It's a frequency pulse. It doesn't have a heart yet. The heart isn't developed at that point. So how can it be a heartbeat?
It's a heartbeat.
Yeah, even if it did, like, I mean, yeah, and we don't
What is a
declare like somebody dead when their
frequency
heart
pulse?
stops. We declare somebody dead when they no longer have like brain activity, and the reason that we use the heartbeat
Is
to
that
determine
true?
that is because if your heart is not beating, then it's not getting oxygen to your brain, and your brain is like no longer going to be able to function. So it's not the heart, because I mean, once you die, you can't come back from death, but we can bring
Okay.
somebody's heartbeat back. We cannot bring somebody's like brain activity back. Once it's gone permanently.
So you're saying if a person's brain activity isn't there, they're basically dead.
Legally, yes. Like, it has been determined in the scientific community that brain death is death.
Yep. So harvesting their
Okay.
organs is fine.
Well, I guess I'm learning something new because, but that sounds, I don't know,
Nice,
it
Dan.
sounds pretty gruesome to me.
Well, how did you think organs were harvested before?
I thought organs were harvested when right the moment somebody died, the organs were
No.
then taken.
Because as soon as your heart stops pumping blood to your organs, then the organs die, and
No.
they start to undergo like necrosis, and that would not make them good for harvesting. They have to be in really good condition for that.
What?
So if they undergo brain death, then we hook them up to machines, keep their heart moving artificially. But then I would not argue that that is like a person. Like, I'm not, that's not harming somebody. If it was somebody that was like conscious, that would be wrong. But
Yeah.
at that point, that's just like a fleshy sack.
Hold on. That doesn't seem right. Well, like, is that true? I need to know. Is that true?
I'm a Christian, of course, and I don't believe in I just don't believe in abortion.
So is it just because you're a Christian, or is there
It
like
says
another
right
reason?
here, organ harvesting typically occurs after a
Yeah,
person has been declared dead.
I've had 3 children. I gave one child up for adoption when I was young. I went through every pregnancy. I could have had abortions. There were many people having abortions at that time.
Shit, sorry.
I chose not to, and it was a really hard decision to give up my first baby.
Yeah, I think so.
But I didn't really have a choice. But I did have 2 after that. And I had all my kids by the time I was 21. I was 22. And I had my tubes tied after that because
I'm glad that
I
you
would
had that
not have had
choice.
an abortion. Yeah.
I'm glad that you had that choice. I don't think that means you should take it away from other people, though.
Well, I do believe everyone does have their own choice. So in that way, I am pro-choice. I mean, we all make our own decisions, and I'm not going to take your choice away. I mean, if it's legal, then go, I can't stop you from having an abortion. I mean, in that sense, I'm pro-choice. But as far as I don't believe in abortions. I believe abortion. I mean, babies are babies.
Consider yourself lucky, Dan.
Whether they're in the womb or out.
Was that the defeater? Was that babies are babies?
They're fetuses. It's okay. Look at it this way: a cat has a kitten. A dog has a puppy. People have people. So when you have.
I'm not saying that the fetus is like anything other than, like, I'm not saying a human fetus isn't human.
Yeah, it's a human fetus, and it's going to be a human.
We're not arguing that it's like a dog or something else. Also, you just said it's going to be a human, so are you saying that the fetus is a human, or it's going to be one?
It is.
Well, of course, it's
both.
not it is it's a human fetus. I mean, it's going to turn into a baby. I mean, I believe there's life in that baby. There's already like a spirit in that baby.
The one that was talking, I believe, said she did, Red.
Okay.
But
I don't know if that, like, we agreed that it's life. I don't think we would agree with like the concept of a spirit, but yeah, we did agree that it's like life at conception. So.
Yeah, it's human.
So,
Yeah.
I guess, sorry, I don't want to call you Angel. What can I call you?
You could call me Angel.
I
Well,
don't
you
want
don't have
to.
to. Okay.
I could call you
What
by
do you
your
want?
first name or whatever else. Sorry, to me that's just weird.
Why is it weird?
Oh,
Your name is. Oh, I guess her name's
It's
okay.
just
Angel.
a me
You can call.
thing.
Well, that's what my husband calls me, Angel. That's why my name,
That's cute.
you
Aw.
know. Okay, but my real name is Sherry.
Sure,
So if you
sure.
want to call it.
You know what that actually reminds me of? Uh, who's that song by? Earth Angel, The Penguins. That's who it is. That's what that reminds me of. That's very sweet.
I'm like
Anyways,
freezing cold.
sorry. Fuck, that was cute. I lost my train of thought. Okay, never mind. Y'all have fun. The ADHD is real.
Oh,
I don't know what's
Sorry.
going on. I'm half asleep.
What
yeah.
was the last thing we said? Because I'm sorry. That's a me problem.
Can we get Robin back up here?
No, no, no. Also,
I
Ellie,
would
thank
like
you.
to
What
have
up, TK?
Robin up because I've been reading her comments. I'm wondering
Oh, girl,
if she
no. I'm not gonna lie.
What up,
I'm
Trav?
pretty sure Robin is
Shouldn't chimps have
adopted,
rights as they
and
are far more self-aware than fetuses and
I
are
don't
for?
like sitting here and laughing at people who are intoxicated. Like, and yeah, it
Anna.
feels icky. You know what I
Uh,
mean? Like, it feels like
Yeah, Dan,
if
it's
you're
just
not in
fun.
the
I
right
like to
state
try
of
and
mind, I don't
engage
want
people when I can.
Anna, you said that your name is Anna, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've never had an abortion, you've said, right?
No, I have not.
Okay. I know several, and I talked to several young girls, and I know a girl now that's
Yeah, Dan, good for you, man. I saw that. That's really good. That's really good. Good for you. Yeah, I applied, but I don't think I'm getting in. I think they got everybody. It veered too strong for Rumble.
I've had my account banned for a week for saying that, for
oh
jokingly
really?
saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna myself." You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Oh
you could
boy.
say it like sewer slide or like self unalive is probably a better one.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, TikTok is
and
weird about it.
I
Sewer
mean, this
slide
one
makes me
girl,
want
I'm
sewer
trying
slide.
to talk to this one girl right now who wants to unalive herself because she's having a hard time living with the fact that she did that.
Well, sure, we can talk about anecdotal things.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Wow.
what if I had said like, oh, I know someone personally who wants to unalive themselves because they're pregnant and they don't know how they're going to carry out this pregnancy,
That's awful.
but they don't have access to an abortion. We could say that for like every scenario. Like, if you give me this story, I can give you like another story about this happening. I'm sure there's somebody out there who wants to unalive themselves because they are pregnant, unfortunately, and they don't have access.
The big problem. See, the problem with all these is just the reduction of an unborn human life to something that is just disposable. Like we'll get to it another time. Or it's just a thing. It's a parasite. Doesn't look like she's.
I've thought with like just one
I'm so
person
sorry.
talking.
Hi, y'all. Thank you for letting me.
Slay.
Lay? Is that what you said?
Can I address comments just real quick? Because the person that was up here earlier is saying
Robin.
misinformation about the heart development. Cardiovascular development begins, and that means the whole cardiovascular system, not just the heart itself. The heart does not finish developing until 17 to 20 weeks.
No, it doesn't matter.
This is
Okay,
correct.
Josh, sleep.
Just use Google, please, because I'm not like there is not a heart at 6 weeks. There is not one.
So,
beat at 5.
I will say, Katie, I don't know if this is a thing in America, because I know one time we had like an issue where we were talking.
This is really annoying. This thing where they're like, "Oh, it's not finished developing until this point." At what point? So, by that logic, we can't truly be a person until we're done developing. Like when? So that's again, it's their whole thing is like, well, personhood starts like it's always this amoebus, like weird like area. Finish developing. Use Google, please. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a hard. I mean, week 5. It's a real thing at that point. It begins development at week 5, and there is something there pumping blood through the blood vessels. As much as they want to say it's some frequency thing, I don't know about that. It's weird. Weird people.
Real.
I'm sorry, that's so frustrating and it happens so often.
So frustrating.
I'm too tired.
Then get
I'm
off.
sorry.
I will say, like,
Say it, Siggy.
oh, yeah, I will say when it, like when we're talking about like people's mental health after abortions, I think it's important to acknowledge the social stigma surrounding abortions, and this is going to be one of the correlations to.
Okay, whatever. I think if we are going to be setting those standards for life, it should be for all life, because we are not talking about sentient life, or we would have those standards for all sentient beings. Yeah. And, as far as the sentience thing goes, I believe it says like between 12 and 14 weeks is when fetuses become sentient. But, again, it's one of those things like where do you draw the line? Because with someone who's in a coma, like, are they technically sentient? I guess they are. But, they're like on the, it's such a gray area. Like the line you draw elsewhere becomes the line, like for adults too. Like, oh, he can't care for himself. Like, well, then my kid, I should be able to unalive him whenever I want.
Was 10 and then 20 years after their abortion. And I believe the statistic is either
I'm not a person.
97 or 98.
I'm not
pretty consistently in these surveys said that they don't regret their abortion at all, and it was the right choice, and they don't feel any negative way about this.
Exactly,
so
awesome one.
I would also like to point that out.
Oh, good.
Go ahead.
I wish I had my statistics with me, because I don't, but I know those statistics are not correct. I have one of my friends works pro-life, and she's got all the statistics, and she was telling me what they were, and
look at this. 5 years after abortion, nearly all women say it was the right decision. Study finds. Oh, interesting. I thought it was the other way around. This debunks the idea that most women suffer emotionally after having abortion. A study conducted by UC San Francisco found that nearly all women 5 years after having an abortion, around 70% of women feared community stigma. Oh, well, yeah, no surprise there. Yeah, I agree, Dan. I just think to set a standard, then uphold the standard you set. Yeah, it's a hard answer, Trav. It's a hard answer. But these debates to me are fun because you get to also look inside the mind of these people that are having these debates or hosting them. And even the chat is like wild a lot of times. I really want to get in on this.
We're the same person. Are you guys just like sharing accounts all the time? I thought.
Not you just thinking because they're not Americans.
We've never shared an account.
Well, no, I do have very xenophobic tendencies. I'm sorry about that if I let that.
Real. You said all these non-Americans sound the same.
But really quick though, Angel Britt. So the problem with using anecdotal evidence or like hearsay is that you can just basically use that for anything. So I just like you said, your friend works in pro-life. I could say, hey, well, I have a friend who works at like a women's shelter who says that like access to abortion is perfectly fine, and they need to have it. And statistics show from what she told me that
right. I know it's hearsay, but I should have been more prepared. I could have got the information
don't worry about being prepared. These people like make you think that you're on some crazy debate stage. This is a bunch of nobodies talking online. They have a little clout on a Chinese app and they want to stir up trouble. There's no reason you have to do your research necessarily. Like having a good faith conversation doesn't mean, oh, I got to have all my sources lined up. Like it's certainly nice to. But yeah, you don't, these people apologizing because they don't have like research is weird to me. Kitty Bear says, I'm not against abortions. I am against abortions without a good, valid reason. Yeah, well, that's the debate is like, what is that valid reason? Is there a valid reason? I'm philosophically pro-life, but if evil people want to eliminate their offspring, I mean, yeah, it's weird. It's such a gray area because there's, I just think that we just don't respect human life the way we should. And I think being so cavalier about abortions can be detrimental to culture.
Or other kind of poor mental health afterwards.
Sure,
however, when we do look at these statistics, it is really important that we compare these statistics to full-term birth. And we do find across the board that there are more higher instance of poor mental health after birth than there are in abortion. And this is because the HCG hormone that is released during pregnancy doubles. You want it to double about every week in the first trimester, and then it kind of tapers off. But because the hormone is going to be much higher towards the end of pregnancy versus a early abortion, this is what's going to be the correlate to poor mental health after an abortion.
I just have a clarifying question for Siggy. When you say postpartum, are you referring to like, I guess like postpartum after having an abortion? Like,
No.
is this what we?
My God, you're gonna have these debates. You don't know what postpartum is? Postpartum is after you give birth. What is happening here? What is happening? And you know, the just obnoxious like downplay and miracle of life is just, it makes me sick, man. I can't believe it.
Abortion, it is still deemed this way. Like in like obstetrics gynecology, we have special, like there are special words and qualifier for people who have been pregnant. I can't remember exactly what they are off the top of my head. It's been a while since I did my pregnancy unit, but it's, yeah, every pregnancy is counted in your history. And regardless of how they end, it gets counted a certain way, but it's still going to be classified as postpartum depression because you are still postpartum, regardless of how your pregnancy ends.
Huh, interesting.
Is that true?
And I have to make a comment. You're right about that, Siggy, because I have to admit a lot of women do have postpartum depression after pregnancy. I'm one of those. I had serious postpartum depression, so I have to agree with you on that. I have to.
That shit scares the fuck out of me.
Yes, so.
I've talked about this a little bit before, like maybe a few different lives. However, I like as much as I get called like a baby killer, and like a baby murderer, whatever they want to say. I actually really love children. I really do, and I really want my own kids.
Sounds like it.
However, one of the scariest things is already having like pre-existing mental health condition.
Yeah, Kitty Bear. And that's even in the states that are super strict on it, to protect the life of the mother. Always the Hippocratic Oath. Every doctor takes it. If you can't save both, then they will for sure save the mother. It's just one of those things that it's just kind of built into it.
One of the scariest things to go through, and I think postpartum is one of the things that I'm afraid of the most.
I can.
So it's like it said, it's very scary for me because I'm like I do want kids one day. I want my own children one day, but
yeah.
I can maybe give you a little piece about that. I mean, The reason I think I had the postpartum, and I've seen it, like my niece just had 4 babies in a row, and when I
God.
when I had my postpartum, it was after I had 3 babies in a row, so my hormones were going so well.
Yeah, like, and people. I've just heard I've heard a couple arguments on this particular live tonight. Like they're saying like, oh, if I don't want to go through the pregnancy, if I'm feeling like really weird in like week 27 or something like that, like I should have the right to end it because it's like too hard. And I'm just wondering like, oh, what? Like again, human life is disposable. That's what these people think. There's no real value in it. So, at these early stages, so just just get rid of it. No need. That's the problem.
Sorry, that derailed me so badly.
Katie was trying to talk. Is that what you were trying to do, Katie?
I really want to try and get on here again.
What is going on with Katie?
No, I was trying to get a fucking green screen thing that doesn't make it tiny because this is pissing me off. And then one of the green screens was like, oh, party time. That was not intentional. However, please would you put me on the big screen because I have a question to ask the chat because I'm annoyed right now.
So I guess
what the fuck is this bullshit?
Chromosome?
No. Apparently this is a heart. This is a heart, did you know?
I don't know if that's true. This might be
the beginning stages.
I would say
heart.
this is disinformation.
No, Anna.
Yeah, Katie, you can't tell me those aren't churros.
Trav.
So look in chat. You guys tell me if you think that's a heart or.
It looks like the beginning stages of a heart. Yes, it does. I mean, it's a very simple version of a heart, but still looks like when it's still pumping blood through a body, it's performing the function of a heart. I really want to get on here, but I don't know if they're gonna let me back on. Oh, they still have that angel girl on there. That's probably why.
Still a cake if you take it out too early?
Is it a cake? Great.
It is.
Belle said they had to go to bed.
Oh, I should do that too.
True, actually.
Oh.
Angel, I appreciate you coming up. I'm going to go ahead and drop you down.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
I'm gonna drive home now. So I'll come back when I get home.
Drive safe. I don't know how much longer I'll be on. I don't have work tomorrow. So that's the problem, is like in my head, I'm like, this is fine. I can be up as late as I want. But then it's gonna fuck up my sleep schedule even more than it already is.
Girl, are you actually telling me that picture of 2 tubes was a heart? Are you for real right now?
I think it looked like the beginning stages of a heart.
Yeah, Katie, it's a life.
Oh,
that's exactly what it is.
Drive safe, Siggy.
It's the beginning stages. It isn't a heart.
Like Katie, I have something to show.
Not a Belle face reveal.
But it is.
Oh my god. Okay, Katie, this is my house.
I was literally gonna say, if I put a couple of bricks on the ground, is that a house?
That's all I wanted to show. I just wanted to show you guys my house because I thought it was really pretty.
It's disanalogous.
Oh, I love it. It's cute. Who's
I know.
decorated?
Like I've got the pretty.
Well, I mean, it's within a contained life. Like, I mean.
Okay. Anyways, that's all. I'm going to bed. I just had a joke to make. I love you.
That is funny though.
Oh, I love you.
Belle W.
That was so wholesome. I want to know who Belle's decorator is.
Yeah, it's a heart not fully formed. This is not true.
Definitely not me.
This is not true. That's like saying that a child is an adult.
No. Well, no. We're talking about human life. They are a human life.
Our
children are humans.
Human
yes.
life?
They are. They absolutely are.
Right. Yeah. Are they adults?
No. They will be adults though.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah, sure. They will be adults given time.
Yeah. The same way a child isn't an adult just because it's going to become one. is why those tubes aren't
Yeah,
a
but
heart.
given its natural processes, that thing you showed will be a heart, and it's already pumping blood through blood vessels in that.
I'm not asking will it. I'm not denying that it will become a heart. I'm saying, is it one?
It is. It is the beginning stages of one. It is independent from other organs. That thing.
Heart,
you know that the heart doesn't like. It's not just like randomly those tubes start becoming a heart. Other additional things develop.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't just all of a sudden become a grown heart in someone's chest. That's not how it works.
So a child is an adult.
No, it's a human being, and you treat it as such.
Well, it eventually will be an adult.
Yes.
Eventually, it will be one. So it is one, right?
Hey,
yes.
also,
So we treat it with humanity. We treat it with humanity
Also,
because it will be an adult. Right?
Also, Shag, I don't care.
I know, that's obvious.
If you want to call this a heart. Okay, sure. I don't know what you
For the
meant
record,
by that.
it's not one.
No.
Shag,
no, because
wait. Medically,
oh, go ahead.
Medically, this is not a heart. You can claim, you can be delusional, you can be delulu. That's perfectly fine.
Wait.
It's not a heart. Second of all, I don't care if it's a heart. That is irrelevant to my argument and to Katie's argument. You're just harping on this because you want to get stuck on this and claim that a heart.
No. I think it's an important piece of the whole pro-life, pro-choice argument. If you're going to show the very first stage of a heart, like it's still a heart and it still contributes to that being a life. You guys are trying to debunk the heartbeat by showing those things.
It's literally not a heart though.
It's a piece
of a heart.
It's not a fully developed heart. You're right, but it's still a heart.
Is your argument?
It is not on its own. It is not a heart. It is a piece of a heart. It is the beginning piece of a heart. The same way if I put a brick down to build a house, it's the first piece of the house, but it is not a house.
I think you're.
So can you tell me, is the heartbeat what you value?
No.
Is this why you're stuck on this? Okay,
no. It's not. I'm not stuck on anything. It was up there and it had been brought up, so I just wanted to touch on it.
Well, you're just like scientifically wrong. So what's your stance?
What do you mean? I'm scientifically wrong.
Scientifically wrong. That's not a heart.
Can you? How do you? Okay. What sources? Do you have a source that says that's not a heart?
Are you like having? Are you like having actually like trouble presenting your stance?
No, I'm not having.
This is so.
Yeah,
okay, then present.
Well, no, because
we literally can. We can talk about the fact that those are going to be like I believe they're called ventricle tubes, and the heart is comprised of like 4 different chambers and ventricle tubes. Right? So there's already other aspects to a heart that aren't just ventricle tubes. So if A equals A, then that means ventricle tubes equals heart. But that's not true, is it?
No, just those alone. But like again, I guess okay. If I'm going to backtrack just a touch, like this is the reason. So I'm not 100% full pro life. I'm still trying to navigate everything. I think there is a very small grace period in which this might.
Tubes
what?
Called, my apologies. Endocardial tubes are what they're called.
Okay.
Also, for the record,
I think what separates.
Hey Shag, I'm gonna let you finish in just a second. But for the record, they're actually being way nicer to you than I would, because like I can see that they're at the point right now where you can't really like, I don't know, form an actual.
I haven't even been able to give my point yet, so I don't know why you would be mad or being mean. I mean, I'm trying.
No. I wouldn't be mean. I would just troll you like the whole time because there's like no reason to like actually have like a. Because you clearly aren't here for a good faith debate.
Yes, I haven't even been able to present my like full argument yet.
Something is that thing.
Okay, let me before I'm accused of coming into this in bad faith. Let me say that where I'm coming from is that the reason I think people should be more pro-life minded is because when at conception we're presented with unique genetic code separate from the mother's, that is delineating right there a new human life. So I think the struggles that people have, and what I'm seeing like a lot of times from these lives, because I've listened to your lives before, I've listened to others, is a lack of value on human life at all stages of development. And it's been said a lot of times before, but like different lines that people draw at different stages of development can also be drawn, with some adults and fully grown.
That's not true. Not from anyone on this panel stance. You could not draw this with like a grown adult. Only with brain dead people.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Is like, no, because I mean, like, if I'm not, and again, this is like, there's some murky waters here for me because I'm still trying to figure out where I am. I think the most important thing is understanding the pro-life argument isn't just like, we want to protect unborn kids. I think it goes even farther than that. Again, valuing human life at all stages of development helps trickle into other parts of life where we want the very best for humanity. We understand the miracle that is human, that is childbirth, that is growing inside of
Should we value all stages of human life equally?
Well, yeah. I mean, again, this is like, and that's what I'm trying to say is that when you recognize that even on conception that this is human life, I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. It helps protect that life through all stages of development, and it helps people not be so cavalier about giving up.
Cat.
Oh, nice kitty. It helps people. It helps people not be so cavalier about perhaps giving up. Like there's just been a lot of like jokes tonight about, I've had this many abortions, that many abortions. Like I don't think it's as funny because I've had 2 kids, one of which was born extremely early at 25 weeks. He's perfectly healthy, but it was a very scary moment, but also made me realize like what kind of a process that, being like a developing human goes through. So that's what I mean is like, it's not, I'm not coming into this bad faith. My thing is like, you can't legislate this problem. This is like the idea of pro-life, pro-choice is something like, I think is going to be, we can eventually meet in the middle somewhere. And if we understand, like, we need to protect life where we can, don't punish kids for the sins of their parents. Because
Sins.
yeah, like, oh, well,
Is sex a sin?
Wait.
No, it's not. No, sex is not a sin. I'm saying like with stuff that like involving.
But hold on, abortion isn't punishing a child
Yes,
because
it
the
is.
child can't how it can't experience it.
This is the argument because it's a life. You're ending the life. You're not allowing that life to come into existence. That's the punishment.
I'm punishing something that doesn't yet exist.
No, it does exist. It's alive.
You just said you're punishing it by stopping this life from coming into existence.
No, the life exists, and you're punishing it.
I literally just repeated your sentence word for word.
Yeah. So if I end someone's life that I know, that's punishing them.
Coming into existence.
What I'm saying is you have to apply the same logic to fully formed adults as you would.
You're stopping it from coming into existence, then it must not yet exist.
You're playing semantic word games. You know exactly what I mean.
No, I don't.
Yes, it's so I'm talking about an unborn child. That when I say not in existence, I mean it's not yet out of the birth canal. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I don't care whether it's out of the birth canal or not. I care whether or not it's sentient.
Well, sentience starts at 12 weeks, so maybe if you're going to use that
24?
argument, huh?
What's your evidence for 12 weeks? What's your evidence for that?
Actually, I don't have it right here. I was looking this up the other day. I could probably try and find it.
Could you describe it? Because I could describe to you why we say 24.
Ooh, I'm up. I got my computer if you want me to look it up for you.
I'm sitting at my computer. Thank you, though. Easy does it? What?
I want to be
clear
when
is okay. So this was what is this?
When I say sentience, I mean ability to have a subjective experience.
So
this is a medical research that's giving some kind of different definition of sentience. I know some use awareness of environment, and then they classify reflex response to stimuli under this. That's not what I'm talking about.
No, I got you. And this year says 18 to 25 weeks. This was from the Journey of Maternal Fetal Medicine. But again, like, yes, okay, sentience, that's your stance. I don't believe sentience is required to value human life, because human life again begins at the formation of unique genetic code within the mom, which is that conception.
Why does when it begin matters?
Because again, I'm trying to establish humanity. The humanity.
Sure. What? Okay, then let me talk about what Belle was talking about earlier.
Mhm.
When does human life end?
I guess the comment, like when you're brain dead, I guess would be you're not coming back from being brain dead, so you're clinically dead at that point.
Right. So why are we like valuing cellular life and the life of these cells?
But there's no coming back from.
Yes, but your cells, your cellular makeup is still alive when you are brain dead.
Yes, but you're not brain dead when you're in the womb.
That's not what I'm saying. If you would actually try listening, what I'm saying is, why do we consider the beginning of a human life to be the beginning of cellular life when we consider the end of a human life to be the end of their sentient experience?
Yeah, well,
I thought I blocked platform.
This is
Sorry.
this is probably where the philosophical part of it all comes in, and like where we would diverge. And again, this is also why like I'm not fully pro-life. Like I do think that there is a small grace period. I'm not like against Plan B and stuff like that, and certainly not against birth control, which I think people should use way more. So it's a combination of things, but yeah, like so this part it kind of stumps me a bit, just because I'm more trying to steel man the pro-life argument, in the very early stages, because again, I still think that we don't value human life the way we should, and that's why we have the amount of abortions we have.
I don't think that's why.
I think we have the amount of abortions we have because people don't want to be pregnant. I don't know what you mean by we should like the way that we should value human life. How should I value it?
If people valued human life, they wouldn't get it, because they wouldn't just get abortions because this is gonna be really hard, or like there's just vast social safety nets in this, and at least in America, that can help like almost every all single mothers qualify for WIC. And
what did I ask you?
Oh, go ahead. Ask the question again. I may have missed it. Sorry.
What I asked you was, I said I don't know what you mean by how we should value human life. How should we?
We should treat unborn humans as people, as we would if I were to go into someone's bedroom and snuff out their child. I would be charged with manslaughter. I want that. I want people to think like that. Like it's the same exact thing that you're doing.
Can I interject really quick?
Go ahead.
All right. So the reason why I asked you why you were special pleading earlier is because of like the terminology you're using when you're describing essentially a fetus. Like, so I think that this is kind of a semantic argument, but I don't really care. But we have to understand the difference between these words, because these words are used to describe things. And the word for child is different than the word for fetus. So when you call like a fetus a child, what you do is you incite feelings in people, which is by definition special pleading.
Special pleading. I haven't actually heard of that.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say this is special pleading. The only time that I would say that this is special pleading is if he made the argument that like, oh, well, you can commit this action outside of utero. However, you can't commit this action in utero because pregnancy is special, or pregnancy has something like important about it. That would be more like special pleading.
Yeah, he did it though. He said, "Why can't I come into your house and snuff out your child?"
Well, yeah, he's comparing like the fetus in utero to the child. Yeah. So he's not saying like one is worse or one is better. He's just saying both are equally bad.
That we should equate them, because there's been instances where pregnant women have been unalived, and the perpetrator has been charged with double homicide. So there are.
Well, that's the way it is. I don't think it's the way it ought to be.
Why not? You kid like so?
Because I don't see abortion as homicide or as like murder. So obviously I wouldn't see the unaliving of a fetus to be murder as well. I would just see that, sorry, I would just add that on as a separate charge with the unaliving of the
Unlawful
pregnant person.
termination of a pregnancy.
Yeah, unlawful termination of a
I
pregnancy. It
I
doesn't-
would
Yep.
I would be willing to put every penny I have saved for my kids for college, that if it were done to someone very close to you or yourself, you would want something done. Well, obviously not you because you'd be gone, but I think maybe
I
that's
don't
a
know about
stretch.
the rest
But
of the panel, but no, actually, I don't really believe in the prison system.
there's no way you would know. But
I would want something done, but I would want
no
something
way I
done
would
because it's
know.
Yeah,
unlawful
do you have-
termination of pregnancy.
Anna, do you have kids?
Yeah,
What's that?
I do. What's the relevance?
Well, because I think there's a stark difference between people who have children and raise them versus those who don't.
It's not relevant. Wait, no, this isn't logically like relevant.
Yeah,
Why-
I
at
have
all.
children and I'm still pro-choice.
That's again, I've already stated that I am not necessarily against a very
Well,
early.
no, you specifically said that I would change my mind if I had kids. I said I have kids and I haven't changed my mind. So
Okay.
then what
All right.
else
No.
is supposed to
Okay.
change my
Then I
mind?
stand corrected. I'm glad that you wouldn't want justice.
Well, wait, no, I believe in like justice, but I believe that justice should be rehabilitative, not, I don't think through the prison system. Regardless, you said that it should be homicide. I don't care about the way that it is. I care about the way that it should be. And I don't believe that it should be considered like double homicide.
Yeah, this is just straw manning because none of us has
It
said
is.
there shouldn't be any consequences. We've said it should be considered unlawful termination of a pregnancy that should still have consequences.
In a lot of jurisdictions, it actually is considered an unlawful.
Like,
termination.
At the very least, it should be. Yeah, but I would say we should go a step farther to punish someone for doing the most awful thing you possibly could and ending an innocent life that can't even defend itself. I mean, call me crazy, but you know.
How are you defining innocent in this terms?
It's odd that I have to explain this. When someone comes in and unalives a child in the womb, that is an innocent life that can't defend itself. Innocent.
I asked you to define the word innocent. I didn't ask you to say the word innocent again.
Why do you need me to define the word innocent?
Because I don't think that somebody who doesn't have the ability to act and doesn't have the ability to be a moral agent can be innocent. I don't think plants are innocent.
Are we really at the point where someone who can't defend themselves sitting in a wheelchair, like we should just do whatever to them?
No, they still have the ability to be a moral agent. I said a moral agent. Do you know what agency is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the ability to be a moral agent. I don't think that something that doesn't have the ability to be a moral agent is considered innocent. I think it is amoral because it is incapable of action. So it is incapable of either innocent or guilty action.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's wild to sit here and just like the way children are spoken about. Oh, they don't have. It blows my mind.
No, I'm not speaking about children.
Right.
I know you think they're not children. I know the word.
Wait. So sure, you can sit here and like virtue signal and you can morally grandstand. That doesn't change the argument.
Virtue
like at all. Yeah, virtue signaling. That's what you're doing right now.
How am I
You're
virtue
talking about
signaling?
like, well, I still think it's double homicide. And you're using all of these like very emotionally charged terms to try to just straw man the argument. This is virtual. Oh my God, this is virtue signaling. You're trying to morally grandstand.
I'm sorry. I said special pleading. I'm sorry about that.
You're good. You're good. Yeah, no, this is just you're trying to morally grandstand. You're trying to make it out to say that like, oh, well, this is insane. This is immoral. This is like bad. Well, you haven't given the reasons why it's bad, other than, well, life is important, and then we've gone down all the reductios.
Because I think that's the root cause of it. It seems like people want like legislative action.
I don't care about the root cause. Can we talk about why?
Whoa! What do you mean you don't care about the root cause? The root cause of anything is what you should be.
No, because you're gonna boil down the root cause to something that you personally have an opinion on. However, I don't care about necessarily your opinion. I care about what logic you have to present to me as far as why it's immoral. You haven't presented me any actual reason why it's immoral.
Because
you just think that
yes,
we
I
don't
have
value life.
because I believe it is a human
That's
life,
not a
and
reason.
science believes that it's an independent human life. Life begins at conception.
That's not a reason why it's wrong. That's not a reason why
Yes,
it's
it
wrong. We
is.
take
That's
human
the
life all the
biggest
time.
reason
We
it's
just
wrong.
do we not justifiably take human life all the time?
I'm not. What are you speaking of? What are you speaking of?
Self-defense.
This should be a yes or no question. Self-defense, people who are brain dead, people who are in comas with a very low chance of coming out of the coma. There's plenty of situations where we justify unaliving someone. Can you tell me now why in this scenario it is unjustified to unalive this fetus?
Well, a brain dead person is
That's what
dead.
we're getting at.
Is 100% dead. Self-defense is protecting your own life. Everybody has that right to defend their own life. Like,
sure, so then life is not inherently valuable.
No, it is valuable. I'm not saying anyone should do it. Like,
not inherently. Not inherently.
Can I please pose you? Can I just go down one line of questioning real quick, right? Do you think that people should have the right to remove objects or people from their body with force if necessary?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Do you think that people should have the right to remove people or objects from their body with force if necessary?
I guess it depends on, I suppose it would depend on the context. But like a foreign object that doesn't belong there, I guess. But now, and I know what you would say to that, but like, we're talking about, like, when this becomes a choice, like the argument that, oh, mothers have a choice to do what they want with their body, but the body or the life is independent of the mom, due to the unique genetic code.
Sure. Can I, if another human being enters my body against my will, can I remove it with force if necessary?
The question seems extremely loaded. I guess I would need a more specific example.
Hey, really quick, I just wanted to say thank you for having me up. I hope you guys are able to raise the money for Siggy's dog. Shags, I'm sorry that I mischaracterized your argument. I should have said virtue signaling rather than special pleading, and I apologize for that.
No, you're good.
No harm done.
Katie, I hope you feel better.
I
know you're really tired. You need to get some sleep.
I hope you remember that I'm not Siggy.
Okay.
Well, you're a non-American, Katie. They're all the same.
It's so real. We have matching
all
profile
commies.
pictures, so it's
all
fine.
right. Y'all have a good one though. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Real quick, also, since we did have a little intervention, I'll let you go. Okay, you're good. This is not super important. I didn't know if he thought that I was talking to him specifically. Really quick, just a really quick like housekeeping / promotion here. I do have a GoFundMe linked in my bio that is specifically for Siggy's dog. Siggy was up on the panel earlier. If you guys saw her, that is for her dog
Siggy's
to get
here. I'm Siggy.
Oh yeah, so Siggy right here. Okay. Siggy's dog does need surgery. We do. Oh yeah, Siggy. There you go. In the comments. His name is Martin. He's very, very cute. Siggy also now needs help paying for a lot of her cat's medical bills as well. So if you guys are able to donate any gifts that I get during lives, I donate directly to that. If you don't want to donate straight through the GoFundMe, send it to the Cash App or the Venmo in my bio if you have that. I even have Zelle on there. Zelle's a little tricky though. I will take $10 donations as a kick for any guest. Sorry, Shag. If someone sends $10, them's the rules.
Yeah, I know.
So it's for a good cause. Do you hate dogs or what? Come
on. No. I love pets. Well, my dog
Right.
passed away 2 years ago, but I have a cat now. So
I'm sorry. Hey, cats W. But yeah, Siggy does need help for funding both of her pets' medical needs. So if you guys are able to, any donations help. And like I said, all gifts that I get during lives go immediately to that GoFundMe. We've raised, I think, like 700 or 800 Australian dollars so far, which is like crazy to me. But yeah, that's that. You guys can continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I think that people should have the right to exclude any other entity from their body with force if necessary. I can give you the hypothetical of a sleepwalker, for example, that is essaying you. They don't have moral agency, similar to the fetus that doesn't have moral agency. It doesn't have the capacity to choose whether or not it's there. I still think that if somebody essays me while they're sleepwalking, I have the right to exclude them, and like I said, using lethal force if necessary.
Yeah, anyone who's essaying anybody should be shot into the sun.
Even if they're sleepwalking and they're not choosing to do this?
Yeah, it's a pretty awful thing to do to someone. So yeah, I don't give a shit. Get rid of them.
Okay, so you don't care when a sentient, capable human being isn't capable of choosing this action if we use lethal force. So why do we care when it's a fetus?
Well, I don't really believe that hypothetical. First of all, I don't think I don't think it's possible to sleepwalk into an essay situation. I think there will be
It
some.
very much is.
Oh yeah, is that anecdotal
People
or is that
there are cases where people have unalived people while sleepwalking.
Yeah, there's actually a pretty
how common
popular,
is that? Are we talking about the exception now, or are we talking about the rule?
I was like, was I mid-sentence?
Does it matter? You asked if it was possible.
Go ahead, host. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, there's actually a very, very popular case of somebody doing this. This teenage boy unalived his father very violently in his sleep. My siblings have done some fucking crazy shit. My older brother actually has like night terrors. And would wake up and like be like cooking food or like screaming. There is plenty of things that we know that sleepwalkers do without their own knowledge.
Is that the exception or the rule?
You asked if it was possible.
Yeah, but again, we're talking about a fraction of a fraction here. Is what we're talking about.
It doesn't matter if it's a fraction of a fraction. You asked if it was possible, and it is.
Sure. Okay. It has happened once or twice, probably.
And if it breaks your logic, it still breaks your logic.
Yeah, but it doesn't really. Okay.
So can you give me the distinction as to why I am allowed to remove this grown human being from my body, even if they're not choosing to be there? But I'm not allowed to do this to a fetus.
Because you're allowed to defend yourself. If someone's attacking you, assaulting you, you have the right to defend yourself. A child is not assaulting you. An unborn child is
inside my body against.
It's not assaulting you. And if you think it's assaulting you, you're willfully ignorant of what pregnancy is.
It's inside my body against my will.
Katie, would you?
This also.
Hold on. Are you familiar with the like poisoning analogy? Like you invite someone over. The one that Siggy uses?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I guess I can kind of give you the rundown of this. What would you say are like probably really common side effects of being pregnant? Shag?
The common side effects?
Yeah, I mean, do you think that like Jesus? Sorry, my cat's knocking over things. Like, do you think that like pregnancy is just like rainbows and butterflies and nothing ever goes wrong and like everything is perfect and it's painless and all this? Like, or what would you say like typically comes along with being pregnant?
No, as I said, I didn't tell you the story, but as I said,
Can you answer my question? Wait, no, I don't care about your stories. Hold on, I want you to answer my question. What side effects come along with pregnancy?
Oh, I think there's plenty. I think there's plenty. And my wife experienced plenty during hers. She had some.
Sure. Okay. Hold on. I just want you to tell me what specific side effects typically accompany pregnancy, and it doesn't seem like you're going to give me an answer, so I'm just going to say it anyways.
Yeah, go ahead.
So ankle swelling, vomiting, other forms of morning sickness and nausea, hair loss. You can actually have like teeth fall out because of pregnancy. Weight gain, stomach pains. There's an endless list of like common side effects with pregnancy. Would you agree to these things?
Yeah, actually, it's the reverse. Hair is actually retained, and then once they give birth, they lose more. I believe that's due to the pregnancy.
Hold on. It can go either way. That you can have people who lose hair while they're pregnant.
Oh, I've never heard that. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm aware of all those.
So we can okay. Hold on. You agree with all of them? Cool.
Yeah, I've heard of all those, and my wife experienced a lot of them. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna lie. It's getting really tiring of you bringing up your wife. I want to talk about like your logic.
Well, it's pertinent because she's been pregnant twice.
I want to talk. Okay, cool. And I've been pregnant. Sure.
Cool.
So I want to talk about the consistency of your logic. I don't care about your anecdotal experiences.
Yeah.
So when
Right.
you're saying that these are common side effects of pregnancy, here's an analogy I'll give you. So say I invite someone over to my house. I know that this person has a history of like, poisoning people's drinks. So I know that when I invite them over, there's a possibility that they're going to poison my drink, and that poisoning my drink will have all of those side effects. It will have the nausea, the stomach pains, the ankle swelling, the loss of hair, teeth falling out, all of these sorts of things. It can cause them mood swings, depression, like psychosis, things like this. There's a possibility. And there's probably like a 1% chance I could die. If this person is in my house, do I have the right to remove them from my house?
Well, yeah. Why were they there in the first place? I would never invite this person to my house.
Well, sure. Let's just say I invited them over because they're a good friend, and I acknowledge the risk that this is a possibility of something they could do, right? So, should I be able to remove this person even if I invited them over?
I don't see what this has to do with pregnancy, but
Can you
yeah,
answer
I
the
would probably
question?
remove that person from my house. Yeah.
Cool. So this is analogous to pregnancy in the way that pregnancy causes all the same side effects. I would not have, or I would have the right, sorry, to remove. Oh my God, my cat is like in my food. Hold on, 5 seconds. Katie, can you go down why this is analogous?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. It's all of the same effects.
It's not obvious. It's obvious to you guys for some reason, but definitely not to people who have a normal functioning brain.
The symptoms that are going to occur if this person poisons your drink are analogous to the symptoms that are likely to occur from pregnancy, with the included risk of unaliving. It's analogous to consent because you invited this person in knowing the risk of them poisoning you.
I don't think of pregnancy as poisoning, so I reject the premise.
Does pregnancy cause the same symptoms that poison would cause?
Not always. And sometimes
it doesn't matter. There's a risk of those symptoms.
There's a risk I'll get struck by lightning, walk
outside
my door. Should I never leave my house? This is silly.
Wait, no, but if I
you guys are talking about the exceptions, not the rules necessarily here. So again,
No,
I would never invite someone into my house that would do those things. So I don't know why.
We're actually talking about the typical symptoms of pregnancy.
But not everyone experiences them, and it doesn't happen all the way through. These are all wildly different. And even pregnancy to pregnancy, they're different.
Sure, but in this analogy we gave you, these are all very common side effects of pregnancy. That's why I gave you to them. So even if, let's just say, the only side effect of this poison is that I throw up when they're poisoning me, should I still have the ability to remove them, even if that's the only side effect?
No, because we take risks every day with the medications we take.
Wait, hold on. So I should let this poor person poison me for 9 months. I should have to keep
pregnancy
them in my
isn't
house for
poison.
9 months. It's not about the poison. It is literally about the side effects of what's happening because I have acknowledged this risk and allowed this person into my house. Much like I acknowledge the risk of pregnancy when it comes to having sex. However, I still have the right to remove both this person and the fetus because they are causing these side effects by being within my body or within my house.
Yeah, and therein lies the problem: is that you're punishing an innocent life for the mistakes that you made, or
wait, how can something that cannot act morally be innocent?
I reject that. You don't need to be able to act morally to be an individual or a person.
Oh, so then a rock that like
no, because a rock is not an organic thing.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry. It's not sorry.
Organic.
Sorry, I misspoke. It's not. I mean, it's not
a tree. Sure, a tree. A tree is alive.
You guys do this to people. So this is what if I were to bring up this example, you would be
sorry that you can't follow our logic.
No, it's not. No, I'm just I reject your premises because they're ridiculous.
What's the premise?
That pregnant.
What premise are you rejecting?
We're comparing. You're saying that you're comparing pregnancy to to poisoning and the side effects of poisoning.
What is the premise?
That I somehow let someone in that I know is going to poison me, and I think that sex is somehow poison.
Well,
Like it's
no.
weird.
Oh my
What
God.
I'm saying is that when you engage in sex, you acknowledge that there is a risk of pregnancy occurring. And when you acknowledge that there is a risk of pregnancy occurring, you acknowledge all of the risks that come along with pregnancy. Just like if you acknowledge the risk of inviting this person into your house, there is a risk of them poisoning you. And there is a risk of all of these side effects from the poison. We are not saying that pregnancy is poison. We are using a poison as a metric of this thing is going to cause A, B, C, and D.
Yeah, but it's just disanalogous is what it is. And it's bad
Why?
faith.
What's not analogous about
What is
it?
the symmetry breaker? What is the morally relevant difference?
I
here?
mean, well, we accept risks all the time with things. And with medication.
Yeah, and I would say that when you accept a risk of something, that doesn't mean that you accept any possible outcome of those.
Yes, you should absolutely
like
accept
when I
the
have
risk
sex.
that if you have sex, you could possibly get pregnant. That's like the first rule you learn.
Yes, no, I'm saying I can accept that risk. That doesn't mean I have to accept the outcome.
Yes, you do. Sorry.
No, I don't.
This is why people need to value human life. You cannot value it all you want.
When I get into a car and I accept the risk of being in a car crash, does that mean that when I get into a car crash, I have to just accept the state of affairs?
Yes,
and not
because
do
there's
anything
nothing you
about
can
it?
do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. You're
So
injured. You're hurt. Sorry.
So if I have broken bones, I can't like go to the hospital and get them like sorted.
Of course you can go to the hospital. Just like you can go to the hospital.
Right. That's what I mean by not accepting any particular outcome. The same way that hey, let me give you another one. If I go on a date, if I go on a blind date, I accept the risk that this person might essay me. That doesn't mean that I have to accept the outcome of them essaying me.
Right. And then now we're getting into the very, very small fractions of things that happen. It doesn't mean it's not horrible and awful. That person should be shot into the sun.
Fraction? I'm sorry. You think the essay is a small fraction of occurrences?
Of abortions, they are. Yes.
That's not.
We're not talking about.
I wasn't talking about essay and abortion. I was talking
but
about.
But it relates to my point that even though
it doesn't relate, you're not engaged. You're not engaging.
You can interrupt me all you want, but it still does.
You're not engaging with my point. My point wasn't about the risk of getting pregnant from essay. My point was about accepting risks versus accepting outcomes. If I go on a date, I accept the risk that this person might essay me. This doesn't mean that I accept the outcome of them essaying me. The same way that if I engage in sex consentfully, I accept the risk that I might get pregnant. That doesn't mean that I have to accept the outcome of pregnancy.
And I'm saying that you absolutely should, because it's a human life, a beautiful, independent human life, one that's independent of your own. I know you can say that all you want, but it's still relevant to my argument.
Why does it hold precedence over my life?
Let me know when you're done.
Because
Katie.
it's an independent life. This is what I mean. This is the very, very essence of my argument, Katie.
Over mine.
Because it is a independent human life that has nothing to do with you other than the developmental stages. We should not end it because it's inconvenient for you.
Nothing to do with me, but it's going to use my body for 9 months.
Again, this is the abhorrent comparison you make. Oh, it's a parasite in my body.
Weird. I have to experience. I have to experience going through that pregnancy.
Yeah, imagine experiencing the miracle of childbirth. How awful that is. How inconvenient.
Yeah, it actually is pretty awful.
Yeah, it can be literally fucking horrendous. For people.
Know.
Even people who want
I know more
right?
than
so
better than most.
Virtue signaling.
It's not virtue signaling.
Dude, I'm sorry. Did you carry the pregnancy or did your wife?
My wife did, and you have.
Did your wife?
Oh my god.
All right, I'm done.
I'm sorry. That cisgender fucking man literally just said the words. I know it better than most. No, you fucking don't.
How many times?
No,
have
you do
been
not.
It's literally all about his wife. Like, I don't give a fuck.
That made me want to punch myself in the.
Yes, it's very obvious these people don't care about anybody but themselves. Let it be known. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. No, does not care about anybody. It's so obvious that they care about nobody but themselves. 0 people. Oh, of course they do. Of course they do. Give me 1 second. I'm going to run to the bathroom quick, and then we'll wrap this up. Oh, that actually so I'm actually glad they kicked me, because I was about to say, hey, I can't do this anymore. I have to go. So I was going to exit that interview anyway, or that whatever that was. I vote we pay extra taxes so that people like this can get neutered for free and then aren't allowed to talk about it anymore. I agree. That's based. DJ Ronnie G, what's up? Maybe I can buy insurance from Lloyd's of London by their logic. I don't. Yeah, they kicked me. No, you're not. You don't have to apologize, bro. You're good. Yeah. Yeah, it's really to me the comparing pregnancy to like the having someone over to poison you. It's disingenuous. It's a like when you're comparing pregnancy to being poisoned, like, okay, I guess, but like that is the whole crux of my argument. Stop dehumanizing unborn kids, and maybe we'll just stop like disposing of them like for, like what? Yeah, I went silent because I muted the. Yeah. Well, then it was the ad hom right afterwards. That the unborn are way worse tenants after being born. Absolutely. Yeah. They didn't let you talk and talked about how they had to bounce before you spoke. It's like, yeah. And then like I try and bring up examples of my wife. Oh, I don't give a fuck about your wife. Like, all right. Like we're talking about pregnancy and difficulties in pregnancy. Yeah, but I realize that these people are the exception, sleazy. These are not. I wouldn't come across these women. And if I ever caught a whiff of them when I was in the dating pool, later. More like telling someone to come over and bring bleach laced alcohol over for drinks. Oh my god, dude. Well, unwanted consequences is basically a mantra of too many people in society. Well, I don't know. I haven't really come across that, like when I was in the dating pool. I don't think I've really come across people like that. I don't know. It's just college flashcards. Like, it's the argument. It's that, oh, bring in people, bring in someone over that is going to poison you. Then the argument that there's so many that they bring up that are just they're disanalogous, they're disingenuous. I don't know. I didn't even get into it. Like this same group, I believe, was trying to tell, or they were saying earlier in a live that I wasn't a part of, that an abortion just ends a pregnancy. That you can still have the child with an abortion. I said, no, that's called birth. That's called a delivery. C-section is a delivery. It's not an abortion. These people are why we have do not shower with warnings on toasters and hair dryers. Yes. Yes. Right, like the issue is, so my argument goes just deeper than what they're talking about. Like, I realize that pregnancies are difficult. Like, but not all pregnancies are the same. Not everyone experiences the same symptoms. Again, and like my wife had different symptoms for different pregnancies. Some lasted longer. But it doesn't change my argument that treating it as a human life, bringing a human life into the world, is worth those things. And this isn't just an opinion of like mine. These people act as if cisgender men are the only ones with this opinion. Like, there's women with this opinion. So that's the weird part of it all. So again, like the idea that pregnancy or not, like a fetus is like a parasite. Like, no self-respecting doctor is going to tell you that you have a parasite. They might they might compare it to that because of how it acts, but doctors don't call children parasites. There's also a Google is God argument, aka classic appeal to authority argument, right? Imagine these people without Google. Oh, I know. They wouldn't know what to do. Right. Yeah, well, apparently the host alleges that she does, but she didn't say that the child lives with her. She just says I've been pregnant is what she said. I don't think the other one does. The other one's like some weird non-binary freak, and then there's that simp that was in there trying to tell me I was virtue signaling. Was I technically virtue signaling to I guess like conservatives? Is that what I was doing? And this is why I say, like, most of the time, my argument, nobody likes my argument, especially on the pro-choice side, because there's no legislation involved, right? I can't define a policy that says, this is how we're going to correct it, or this is why. Like, no, my very reasoning for this is that we treat, humans at all stages of development as a human. Because if we value that, we might not have people using abortion as a contraceptive method. Oh, I don't want that. Oh, you should have thought of that before. Even the SA argument or the sexual assault argument is kind of a sticky area for me, because I do agree that we should not punish the unborn for the sins of their father. Like, that's a person unique from that awful person. And that person should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law and be shot into the sun for all that. And unlawful termination or something. It was weird. Unlawful termination of a pregnancy, which I was like, okay, I agree with that, but I think it should be a step above that. Like, I think maybe not homicide, but maybe like manslaughter or something like that. Like, I think that is maybe a happy medium. And this is someone who has abortion all 9 months on their TikTok live. So it gives you an idea of who these people really are. If they spend so much effort to categorize and dehumanize living adults, they don't want to deal with them. It only tracks that they would think less of human that can't speak up for itself. Right. So they wanted me to define the word innocent, because I was trying to draw the corollary, like if or they bring up the case that there has been instances where a pregnant woman was killed along with her unborn child, and it was considered double homicide. And they were like, well, and I said, well, you're ending an innocent life. And she's like, well, define innocent. And I was like, do I have to do this? I have to define what innocent is? Blah, 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 blah. and I forget what they called it. It was like moral, not moral authority. They said something to do with like morals. Like they can make a moral choice or something like that. What about I mean, if we're getting into the extreme examples, like what about someone who like is severely mentally retarded, who can't operate on their own, but they require, help from an adult? Should we just off them because, hey, I don't want, they can't make a moral choice? Like, is that where we're at? Again, that's the line I'm talking about. I love how they were so against the heart idea, but insistent upon sentience. Yeah, that was the other weird thing. So they showed a picture. Let me see if I can find it. See if I can find this picture of the first stage of what a heart looks like. Move this over here real quick, and I can show you essentially the picture that she had up. So this is the picture she basically put up. It was this picture right here. And she was, but hers had like little things attached to it. She goes, this isn't a heart. I said, well, it will be a heart. She goes, well, that's not a heart. Science says that's not a heart. Development of the heart. It's flowing. It's the central part of the circulatory system. I think she may have shown this here. 20 days, 5 weeks, 5 weeks. This isn't a heart. It will be a heart. Well, it's not a heart. She just called me stupid or something like that because someone should go back and try and find that clip. I should go find it. Like it was, I couldn't believe what she was saying, man. A moral agent, right? Yeah. Can you imagine? Like I'm sure one of them has a family member that's mentally retarded beyond anything. And like, is he a moral agent or is she a moral agent? Probably not. But still, like, now we should just, but these are the same people that would argue that we should have the right. Oh, we have a mentally retarded, we're going to have a kid with Down syndrome. I don't know. Eugenics is seeming pretty good right now. These people are weird. Yeah, and then compared it to a single brick laid to a house. And why it's disanalogous, I just thought of why it's disanalogous. Because this right here, given its natural processes, will become a heart. A brick, given its natural processes, will continue to just sit on the ground and not do anything. That's why. Like to me, that's I didn't think of it before, but that's why. I think I did say, given its natural processes, it will become a heart. And they still go, well, as a brick laying on the ground. Like what? Family member, they seem mortal. Yeah, right, Bonzo. Right. Like, people make my head hurt. And they think they just have it all figured out too, which is even more bizarre. A single brick is a house if a bug is living under it. It is analogous. Like, nah, bricks aren't hearts. So yeah, like, sorry. I know it's really hard for people to understand these things. And I get, like, I wasn't fully sold on this until I spent way more time on it. But what I'm seeing is that they're spending more time trying to convince themselves it's not life rather than seeing it as life. Right? Like that's an alive thing. It is unique from the mother. Therefore, you have no right over it. They just have the conclusion, then fill in the work to it lazily. Yeah. It hurts my brain and I should probably go to bed, but those mixed metaphors were interesting. Yeah, like like their examples was like they and this is why it drives me nuts sometimes. These people will give the most extreme examples of stuff. And I'm like, what? These are the exceptions, not the rules, guys. Like I'm never going to let someone into my house that's going to possibly poison me. But even then I could reverse it and be like, and what I tried saying was there's a chance that I could get struck by lightning going outside, or a car could come flying down the road when I'm trying to get into my truck out of control, rear-end me from behind. There's always a chance that some freak accident will occur, but that's not generally what happens. The rabbit who lost its tail in Aesop's fables told all the rabbits to go chop the tails off too. Right? That's way beyond them though, Red. That's way beyond them. Yeah. You're asking a lot for them to even understand what a fable is, let alone Aesop's fables. Yeah, it's oh my God, man. All of our heads hurt tonight. All of them do. And I'm so glad that I can make everyone's head hurt. What's interesting is like I've had a headache all day. So I guess it only makes sense that I end my day with a really big headache. Jack's reading Aesop's fables next talk. Like, no, that's Amarado's job. Amarado reads the fables and stuff. You guys should follow her. She does cool stuff like that I think more people need to be involved with. What was I gonna do? I was gonna look something up. Social engineering at its finest. Oh yeah, man. We truly do live in this like clown world. I'm blown away that people like you guys like to watch this. You guys like to watch me like struggle? Is that why you're here? You guys watch it for the same reason I do it, because you love a good car wreck. You love a good car wreck. We gotta watch it. They make me not want to be pro-choice. They are horrible advocates. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing I was trying to like get across to them. I was like, I'm kind of here just steel manning the pro-life argument, because I would probably be okay with certain parts of it, but it's just, I can't let some of this shit go. I hear these people talk sometimes and I'm like, you are poisoning not only like people who are, I think, being way more genuine about the pro-life argument pro-choice argument than, and also just you're just flat out lying to people, telling people that abortions deliver children. Like, no, that's called childbirth. C-sections are not abortions. And people were trying to tell me that last time. Like I think they may even call me stupid or something. And this chick calls me dumb over like I don't even remember what it was anymore. I stay for support and convince myself the whole time to not block you. I probably deserve a block. It's like watching the Whatever podcast too. I just love talking shit on modern degeneracy. Yeah. And these people think, after there, they laugh at like, me trying to tell my wife's story, or they think again, there's just no regard for human life. To sit there and say like, oh, if this affected you, if someone came and stabbed your belly and ended your pregnancy, you'd be like, oh, well, let's just rehabilitate. Yeah. And no, I'm sorry. Even I don't know. I can't to sit there with a straight face and tell me that if it happened to someone extremely close to you, you'd be like, "Oh, let's spare him. It was a misunderstanding. He'll learn his lesson." Like, no. These people gave up their ability to rehabilitation when they decided to take an innocent life. Can you define innocent for me? Ugh. These people have maps, yeah. They cared. They would have talked about your son being born early. They brushed that off way too quick. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like, they're the ones virtue signaling in that case where it's like, okay, you're just saying that to your audience so you look virtuous. Like, oh, I want to rehabilitate them. Like, no, I don't want to rehabilitate anybody who like sexually assaults my family, who attacks my family, kills anyone in my family. Those people go directly to the sun. Later, bye. Those people would shame you for not advocating for your wife, but want you to ignore her when it's convenient for them. Oh, yeah, dude, totally. Totally. That is 100%. Yeah. Why aren't you standing by her? Why didn't you help her? Would you take over that burden? Shut your mouth. You can't talk. I'm like, what? Fuck out of here. People are weird. And those people are the biggest virtue signalers on the planet. Unreal. Ovaries in a jar. Yeah. I don't know, guys. But hey, I think it was another successful TikTok debate. I think I'm gonna say W here. I'm gonna say W. What do you guys think? Dub or no dub? Let me know. I think that was a dub, big time. Yeah. These people just get mad because they can't like toss life away because it's just meh. Baby, ew, ugh. And then like throughout her life, she kept saying, "Oh, I love babies. I love babies," which people think is weird because I'm pro-choice. I'm like, you don't love babies. You like the end result. Go adopt. Those people should just adopt. If they love babies so much, go adopt. Don't get pregnant. You want to sit here and tell me, oh, getting pregnant is like poison, it's like having a parasite in you. Go adopt. You don't deserve to experience the miracle of childbirth. You don't. There's no way. That's I can't. That's where I'm at. They can't make a merit-based argument. Yeah. I pretty much had like mentally I checked out when they asked me to define innocent. They want to know if I knew it. What was it? What do you mean innocent? I mean an innocent party. I mean a party who's not involved with any of this. You know, like I wish I had come up with something while we were talking about what innocent was. You know, innocent bystander. It's not a living thing until they put a T-shirt with a cringe slogan on it. Yeah, exactly. Anyways, guys, that's all I got tonight. I should have been into bed an hour ago. I was falling asleep watching our show tonight. Should have. And I fucking killed myself at the gym tonight, so I'm sore as shit. They can't be bargained with, they can't be reasoned with, and they absolutely will not stop. Yep. They don't feel pity. Good reference. They broke down when you were like, yeah, I'm not playing this game. Yeah. They liked me when I liked cats and dogs. They thought that was cool. Maybe I should just come on and be like, girl, you do what you want. Let's talk about that pussy. I mean, that cat. Okay? Let's talk about that bitch. I mean, your female dog. That's what I'm going to do next time. They can't be bargained with. They can't be reasoned with. Doesn't feel pity. All right, y'all. Be good. Yeah. Terminator for sure. Yeah. Guys, you guys go get some rest, or go find your next best content creator, streamer, whoever it is, and go support them. I'm going to bed. Be good.
I like to put stuff online.